18th, and we're doing a spontaneous webinar with Nick, and we have one guest, which is Dan. Yeah, Dan, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm from the UK, and I've had a bit of a fascination with ufology and extraterrestrial events since I was quite young. So this is really exciting for me.
Nice. Do you have any specific questions? We discussed many things in the last couple days. Anything that makes you excited? What's your best excitement?
A lot of it's a lot what Nick's been saying about the Reptilians and the Draconians, really, because I've had a lot of strange kind of instances where I've been contacted at a young age by some kind of reptilian entity. And I just want to know a little bit more about it, really.
Excellent. That's a nice start. Nick, you already started channeling?
No, I just want to know what country you lived in.
UK. Oh. Yeah, Nick, try to answer some questions before you start channeling, and then we'll see what your channeled people will say. How about that?
Yeah. There's someone here now, but I don't know who it is.
You can start channeling if you like. Move the camera a little down, so only like you move so in a way that your eyes are barely visible. So when you kneel down, we'll see your face. Sounds great. Yep, perfect.
Okay, just give me 1 minute.
Perfect.
Do you have somebody that you want to come, Dan? Hello?
Dan, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't hear what was saying.
Do you want to invite someone?
Can you repeat that again, please? Sorry.
Did you want to invite a certain person or being?
I don't really have any kind of overall connections with any particular entities at the minute. I just want a kind of a generalized kind of opinion, really.
Yes. Greetings, it's General Orokor.
Greetings, General Orokor. It's an honor to have you again.
Greetings.
The honor is mine, I assure you.
You have left abruptly yesterday. Did you want to continue from where you stopped?
Perhaps we should start somewhere else.
Fine. Dan, would you like to ask your questions?
Yeah, since I was a very young child, I've had a kind of a communication with some kind of reptilian entity, I guess, would be the only description of him. Or her, I'm not sure what sex or race, really. But I just want to kind of know a little bit about why I had this communication at such a young age in Britain.
Well, because you are hybridized with reptilian DNA.
So you're saying that there's a potential that I could also be of that bloodline?
Yes. That's exactly what I am saying. I'm not...
Okay, cool.
That is the truth, yes. But, however, what I did mean is that you have infused reptilian DNA after I believe, after you were born, along with one or two other species.
Would you be able to kind of go a little bit more into that, perhaps? What kind of
Others
species?
can be told to you, but I believe your intention was to understand your reptilian roots.
Yeah, yeah. The main one was why it's
The
kind of
reason why this is what the reason why you feel the need to understand it better is because you know that it exists within you, and you are still in the process of complete understanding of how you can use it as a tool to make you stronger and not weaker.
okay.
Does this
Thank you
make
very
sense?
much.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Which way is stronger? What are the typical influences, and Dan what Dan should expect? Which part of his strangeness or
I am not completely
extraterrestrials?
aware of what level he is at now. I would have to understand his perspective a little more before I could answer those type of questions. You will experience, you will begin to see the reptilian and other humans as well. Your eyes will be opened a little wider from this point on. You will gain greater perspective with the information you now have possession of.
Dan, can you shapeshift?
Um, Not that I'm aware of. I've
Have you
had
seen shapeshifters?
um, I've seen. I'm not sure really. I can't really explain what I have seen. I've
Are
had
you
a.
are you telepathic?
I'm gonna say yes because there's some things that I can't really explain, and it's very difficult to explain to other humans, I guess.
Are you a good
And
fighter? Are you a
like,
good soldier?
automatically, it's just somehow I automatically know what's going on.
Uh-huh. Are you a good soldier?
I wouldn't necessarily say that I've been in any kind of fights per se. I know that when I was younger, I used to be quite good at fighting, but since then I've kind of gone off the path of violence and tried to find other creative ways of expressing myself, I guess.
General, you mentioned yesterday that possibly military, when they sign up for military service, become infused with reptilian DNA. Is it physical or spiritual?
I will answer this question about this, and that will be the last I talk of it for quite some time.
Would you prefer not to answer that question and speak about something else? It's up to you.
That is up to you, Maxim.
So if we discuss other things, you can speak longer.
I can answer, like I have said, I can answer this one last question about that particular um, aspect of our society, and then I won't be talking about it for a few more transmissions.
Oh, that would be fine.
So yes, it is injected, and it is reptilian DNA, yes. And that is all I will say.
Physically injected
Yes.
by humans.
Yes. They may not know that, but That is what is the truth.
Interesting. All right. So we are closing the topic about military, but the topic about voluntary hybridization and taking in reptilian DNA is still open, right? You can discuss that.
Yes.
So, as we discussed, now humans are invited to volunteer to receive infusions of alien DNA. And your reptilian species are offering your DNA to be infused into humans. Is it right?
We are very willing to share our essence with humanity, yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If someone decides to stop the process, would you accept this?
It's kind of like burning a bridge. You can't actually go back.
All right.
In a sense, there's no possible way of going back. You can't really remove information from your DNA.
Oh,
No,
I understand.
you can splice, but it's not safe.
Oh, I understand. I didn't mean that. So I understand that when something is infused, it's really hard to take it out. But suppose a person agreed to get infusion of reptilian DNA, and they get, suppose, 2% of that infused.
If there are after the age of 33, the amounts that we would be using are so small at first, and it would take, depending on each individual, mostly depending on how they react to it. But it can be very beneficial for those who are overweight, who are going through a lot of pain, who have sicknesses, disease.
Amazing. Oh, that changes the whole perspective. So overweight people, sick people, can benefit as a healing technique to infuse your species DNA and then become less sick and less obese. Would it be right?
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? There
I
are
just repeated what you said.
flies everywhere right now.
Yeah. So it looks like it can be used as a healing technique, right?
As I don't know if I said this, I believe I did. It is galactic medication for the human condition.
I didn't realize what you meant, but now I do. Oh, that's
why
interesting.
we are not racist. We do not care what species you would want to be hybridized with. We are only trying to give you a higher perspective of your own existence.
So chronically obese people can ask for infusion and they would expect to become fitter. Would that be right?
If they can go along with the shifting. If they got afraid of it, panicked, it could cause some damage. We would
Yes.
never give any amount that would actually do physical harm. But the mentality is what people don't understand, that they need to be fully heart-centered before they should ask for hybridization to begin.
So basically there could be...
If you do not believe you are heart-centered, then you should not ask. And we usually would not. We would still help. We would do it if you ask, but however, if you were not fully heart-centered, it would take some time, because before we would actually do any infusion of information, we would be working on balancing you out, and for some people that takes an extended amount of linear time. If they choose that, it can be very rapid.
Excellent. So how much experience do your medical people have in doing that?
we were the Anunnaki slaves, not you. We helped build you, in a sense. We helped. We
Oh,
are the doctors of, in a higher dimensional sense, not in the. I don't want you to get caught up in the reptilian, the Anunnaki, the Elohim. It is more important to focus on Jesus Christ and his
thank,
example that he set for us.
thank you.
Yes.
So there are two scenarios. One scenario, a person is heart balanced and gets an infusion, and they should expect improvement in health. And another scenario, the person is unbalanced, gets an infusion, becomes afraid, fights the reptilian's new essence, and becomes what?
Well, as I said, after the certain age, we would never. The mentality itself. This is why after the age of 33, we would only do very tiny, very highly diluted percentages of DNA at first. And if we saw any sign of compression or of struggle, we would do much work with the individual before we continued another step up.
I see. How many steps up
This is a
would
new
you do?
program. We have never tried it like this before. Human beings
Oh,
are a very hybridized species in their genes, in their genome, in their roots. So this is something that has been going on throughout human history. Where you're just becoming aware of it.
so how many?
Letting you be a part of it consciously, because you
Yes.
asked to do that.
Yes, I understand. How many of your species, how many individuals of your species are working on that program right now?
As I said, 144,000.
Oh, I mean, specifically doing this infusions and monitoring the
All
patients.
of us on the planet are qualified physicians.
Oh, wow.
In
Okay,
areas, my area is psychology, herbology.
I see. Uh, so suppose a person wants to stop and exit the program and not to get any more infusions or balancing or anything of that, anything of that.
As I said, as soon as you thought that we could, with the infusion, we can translate your thoughts a little bit to understand them better.
Yes.
So if you did not want to continue in any way, it would not be able to, because it's a safety that automatically is turned on by you.
Interesting.
It's
I have a
always
question.
up to you. You are the masters of your destiny. We will not make it harder ever. We only take our cues from you now.
I have a quick question for the general. In relation
Please.
to the childhood hybridization program, which I may or may not be a part of, which I welcome whatever beings wish to help me on this journey. But how would the DNA transfer of the child go about?
In your case, I am not quite sure because as I say, I am only looking at your reptilian side because that's all I wish to. I do not wish to give you any other information and disrespect your galactic family.
That's understandable, yeah.
So I will not. It happened when you were a child, yes. But your lineage already has it. obviously. All humans do, but there are only certain bloodlines that can even accept reptilian blood, reptilian DNA. And there are even fewer that can accept draconian.
That's actually the Draconians. What part do you play in relation to the Draconians?
In the ancient times, they were they are our friends.
Okay, I like that rings with me quite well actually. I like that.
Yes.
What's the difference between reptilians and draconians?
About 6 feet and about 17 feet wingspans.
So the wings are the difference?
Draconians are way bigger and have wings that are very big. And they look more like hellhounds, but they are sentient beings.
If a Draconian were to appear to me, would it form itself as a dragon, or would it find something else that resonates?
Draconian resonant waves throughout time in your clouds.
Okay.
Sometimes they can be up to a mile long because the ancient ones were much bigger.
So I'm trying to imagine a real draconian. How many extremities would they have? Would they have 2 wings and 4 legs? Would they walk upright?
Some can be quadrupeds, but most of them have, many of them have 6.
Uh-huh.
And the wings can count as 2 more, so that would make 8.
Ah,
Because there are claw-like hands on the edges of their wings, and they can use their wings to climb, walk, and swim.
So
There's
do I
also
have...
how they walk on the bottom of the ocean. They use
Oh,
wings and grip and just kind of, they pedal with their legs and their arms and their paddle-like tail sometimes. And they just pull themselves along with their wings.
I see.
And they can glow in the depths if they choose, and also once you get down to the abysses, the rocks are glowing, and then there are rivers within the oceans. And there are cities of light and caverns that go deeper and back up into the solid rock where many draconians live. Many of the entrances to their dwelling places, they have to go to the bottom of certain parts of their seas. One of these entrances is known as the Dragon's Triangle. Another one that is not the Draconian, but there are Draconians that live there, is the Bermuda Triangle. And where the Dragon King's palace entrance is the Devil's Triangle. So you know more about Draconian now, about where they go and how they get there and why certain areas are in quarantine, in a sense.
Are they in 3D sometimes?
Yes, all the time. And in 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. All of us are all through 1 through 7. You're just slowly shifting higher and higher and higher and higher. Or you can choose to shift back down. It's always up to you.
Right. So they can appear and disappear and change appearance?
Yes, but they usually don't walk as humans very often. Ever, hardly. They used to, but they were much taller, and they were named gods.
Yes, when
Some
you
of them
speak,
still sit where they fell asleep millions, tens of thousands of years ago.
uh-huh.
We think human beings have to understand that they don't understand anything about the nature of reality. They tell themselves they do, therefore they prevent themselves from seeing clearly. As soon as you think you know anything, you know nothing. As soon as you
Oh.
know something, you know everything. The one is the all are the one. Those who know cannot say, and those who say cannot know.
Hmm. All right. Thank you very much. That is very enlightening, and we learned a lot. Um, I want to ask, do you have a tail? Your species, do you have tails?
Yes.
Are they for decoration, or are you using them for balancing when you walk? What is the purpose
Well,
of
we
the tail?
kept them for battle, and now mostly balance and we train when we train in martial arts. We use our tails.
Uh-huh. So you can hit with the tail and cut something with the tail, right?
Yes, but mostly when it's not when the wars are over. Eventually, maybe we won't need them anymore, but I think I will always keep mine.
So do you have fashions like Pleiadians and humans do?
Factions?
No, fashions.
Ah,
Um,
yes, we are a
decorate.
warlike society, therefore our fashion is armor.
Uh-huh. Are your tails decorated with armor?
No, but I have I have in a sense hybridized my tail with raptor talons. Raptors from the dinosaur period. But I
Uh-huh.
got but these are new upgrades in a sense that I had to travel off planet for a night to get. I stole them from, well, I slain the beast and it's difficult for me to explain. I Humans still won't understand the way we live. You keep
So
what you kill.
so kill the beast, took its DNA and cells and infused in yourself and made you a better tail.
In a sense, yes.
What made it better? What's the advantage of the new tail?
It has raptor claw, three of them
Ah,
protruding from the end now as like a razor sharp triple claw.
I see.
It's
Uh,
easier to cut down trees and to pay like it's just for protection.
mhm. So you mentioned you walked around Rochester and ate turkey. Was it physical? Was it for real?
It was physical, and yes, it was real. Yes.
I would like to see you. Oh, what brought you to Rochester? Just you wanted to be closer?
Yes, usually I always travel. Time traveling, jumping through time and space is very simple for me.
Yes. So how was the turkey?
It was good, very good, and it was a male.
Uh-huh.
When I said I saved the feathers I meant were the tail feathers.
Uh-huh. Yeah, my dog once harmed the turkey. He pulled four feathers from his tail before the turkey flew away, and I was very sorry for the turkey. I was
Well,
uh
that was the turkey's fault. Turkey are much smarter than dogs.
uh-huh.
So the turkey was trying to do something.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this dog is very nice. Maybe the turkey didn't realize the dog has an aggressive side.
Maybe the turkey said something to the dog that it didn't like.
I see. So how often do you come to the Earth in our reality and eat animals?
Mm, I just ate a turkey that day. I haven't eaten meat since then.
Oh, what do you eat then?
Mushrooms, flies,
How do you collect
moths,
those?
my tongue used to
Oh,
catch bugs.
interesting.
I can use my hands to catch them. That's usually what I do. I don't have a super long tongue, but it can be used for grabbing.
Ah,
I drink from the streams. I have a physicalized human form that I take sometimes, but right now it is more important to the earth that I remain within the forests for a little while and come out when I am called.
do you have a flying ship?
What I was going to say before is that more often than not, during times of war like we are in now, the Draconians are our ships.
How is it possible?
We ride on their backs.
How
They are
many
they are not animals, they are our teachers.
how many of you can fit on a Dragonian?
One.
Oh,
We don't They are not horses.
mm-hmm.
They are our partners.
I see. You mentioned you are in a war right now. Who do you fight?
The misconceptions of human reality.
I see. I see. It's like George Bush announcing the war on terror.
Yes.
Um, jumping between the topic. I remembered an important question which I forgot to ask about the hybridization program. So suppose a person gets volunteers to accept your DNA, your species DNA. Would they get a guardian from your species?
Yes.
Would
If
it
you're
be an
already a hybrid, you already have guardians, and you do have Shalanayan.
You're talking about myself?
Yes.
I have Shalanaya.
Yes.
Do I
Yahyel.
have any reptilian DNA? A recent reptilian DNA, not the ancient one.
Did you ask for some?
No, not yet.
Did you want some?
Not yet. Thank you. I appreciate the offer. I want. That's why there are so many questions I ask because I want to make sure that's a smart move. I want to be wise, and so far what I hear about military side of reptilians repels me. Repels me. I'm pacifist in many ways, and my vibration is barely compatible with military ideas.
Yes.
So, do I have any reptilian DNA in myself?
The fact that you continue to ask this question is giving your intention to the universe, stating that you would like reptilian DNA.
I understand. No,
I
it
will
just
not answer the question because I do not know if you want to hear the answer because your intentions seem to conflict themselves.
yes, yes. I have conflicting intentions. The desire to be healthier, desire to be more successful, and incompatibility with military ideas. Yes, these are conflicting ideas. Thank you for not answering that. Next question I have is, what are the closest people to me who had the big reptilian influence, a reptilian DNA? For example, my half-brothers, do they have that?
I sense there are. The number that is coming is 2 of your family that are reptilian hybridized after birth.
After birth.
I sense that. I believe they are both male. I do not know if they are your brothers or something else.
I see. I see.
Max, I have a question for the general a sec.
Please go ahead.
Um, in regards to, well, I've been reading some information a little bit about certain types of reptilians, and apparently there are a group of them that they maintain a vegetarian diet, and that they're not specifically war based like yours are. Can you perhaps say a little bit more about the pacifist reptiles?
They are simply physicians, doctors, astronomists, geologists. They are a part of us as well. They are just a different sect.
Okay, so even if you were designated as a reptilian, I suppose you can still have the opportunity to go down a vegetarian sort of diet and be a pacifist and choose a bit more of a positive
Yes, the
workplace.
reptilian does not mean carnivore.
Okay, because I do know from looking into our animal history that there are a large majority
Well,
of
in a sense,
reptile races that
reptilian
are
does mean
vegetarian.
carnivore, but you do not have to feed that physically
Okay,
because the energy itself is reptilians need very little food. But when we do eat, we can eat very much all at once, very quickly, and then we digest it over many weeks.
that resonates quite well with how I act as a human entity as well. That's quite amusing actually.
Yes. I enjoy moths. Lightning bugs are my favorite. Fireflies. They're a little acidic, but it's pleasant for me.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I must go shortly.
Anybody has? Does anybody have any more questions to the general? General, are you into poetry and prayers? Can you give us any poem or a prayer or a blessing?
Of course.
Thank you.
Father, we thank you as you guide us with your light through the valley of the shadow of death. And none of us will fear any evil as long as we can see you, and as long as we can feel your light within us. We can never astray, for the path is paved in light and gold. And we thank you for that. Amen.
Amen.
In novem Jesu Christi. Oh man, there's a bunch of people here now.
Hey Nick, welcome back.
Hey, what's up? Keep taking naps. How did it go?
Oh, pretty well. That was a nice session. We learned much, and it wasn't as stressful for me as some of the others.
Oh yeah, I think he needed to explain a lot of stuff because people were misunderstanding or something.
Today?
I think in general.
I don't know. Sometimes they are stressful, especially stressful was the Draconian King, the green one, and Archangel Michael, who pointed that I'm not qualified to speak to him.
Who?
Archangel Michael.
Did he come through?
No, last time.
I actually he came through with L earlier today.
Oh,
They know each other very well.
oh,
Well, I couldn't see a lot of it. She also was, her daughter was wanted to see Michael, I guess. So, but it was cool. It was awesome. That was the craziest visuals I had ever seen in a channeling. He like went to this place that L made in like the fifth dimension,
huh.
and they were like in it, and like it was a pyramid, and like he could see more dimensions of it than she could. And then so I was seeing them, and it was amazing. We definitely need to build a place like this. It's not even a joke. Like if we built this on Earth, like people would pay to go just. Oh my God, dude. We need to get money so we can start building the light cities. And you start building a light city by building a greenhouse structural pyramid with rivers and streams and a waterfall within the actual pyramid, and also a center room, and everything, the windows, everything has to be made out of crystalline in a sense. The chairs, at least, the table, and then we could use like glass or something to make the actual pyramid. I don't know. There's this plastic that can absorb can absorb light, so we can use it to make glass. The window plastic that you use to build the pyramid would actually absorb solar energy, so it would also be a free energy source for the entire community. And Russia has all kinds of pyramids that they built, and then they figured out how amazing they are. They like, you go in there, work out, and you get like 10 times stronger than you would have normally. And then like you put water in there, and then you feed it to mentally ill people, they get healed. You just soak it in the energy of the pyramid. It creates a vortex, a chakra, or whatever, a center of energy that it's alchemy. It's turning, you know, water into wine.
I would invite other participants to speak as well. Hayan, Robbie, Dan. So Dan, do you have anything else to discuss?
My apologies for that. I just had some food in my mouth.
Oh, okay. Sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm hungry now too, man. He was making me hungry. That's weird because he was talking about eating raw turkey, moths, and lightning bugs. Now I'm all hungry. I'm like, I want, I don't even know. Sushi.
Yeah. Coming from your direct communication to the reptilian general, what do you know about the colours of the beings? Like, what does the colour symbolise?
Well, they're mostly green, dark green, light green. As many different kinds of reptiles and lizards there are, that's how many different types of reptilian species.
Okay.
Everything on Earth is symbolic of something in the universe. That's why Earth is the epicenter of the entire universe, in a sense. Right now. It won't always be that way, but that's why we're ascending, because right now we are literally we are the center of the universe.
So, from all of your guys' understanding of what's going on, would you say that essentially our spirit, when we were descended from Source, we've made our way down to the lowest level, and we're just kind of building ourselves back up to then return back to the Source, and then return back to the first level, and just like a continuing circle?
You can do that, but there is a Celtic symbol that represents better about what time is than a circle.
Is it the it's kind of like 3 overlapping circles?
Yes, it makes 3 points.
Okay.
They in and out of each other and connect to each, and they intersect each other. That's more of a clearer representation of how time operates than the basic circle. Because if you were going to call time a basic circle, you would also need a cross in the middle of it. You would need a wave going on each side, the horizontal and vertical parts of the cross, and then you'd need to make static all within and without of it. That would be the only way to really look at that symbol as time.
Okay.
Because it's dimensional. It's not even a circle. That's a one, in a sense, two-dimensional representation of something that's seventh dimensional. So you just have to catch your symbols up to the actual seventh dimension, and then you will just naturally understand it all together as time progresses. And the more you relax and just follow your excitement and stop trying to control anything, because really you can't control anything. All you can do is guide yourself by what you prefer, and always doing that. And the faster you decide accept that programming, the faster it will all come together, and the faster first contact will happen. And I would really appreciate it if you all went pretty fast, because I've been waiting for this for a long time.
Yeah, same here.
And switching to the topic of the first contact.
Before we do, Max.
Okay.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
I'm at work, so I can't talk so much.
Okay.
But I want to put the question out there, and first I'm gonna say my perspective. Have you grasped the understanding of the negativity and the positivity of these reptilians?
I know. All right. So, let me tell you a little story. So, when I was a boy and I lived in Southbury, Connecticut, I wouldn't be able to sleep. So eventually I would just lay down and close my eyes and just sit there for hours. I wouldn't stay in my bed though. I would remember these as dreams. But I would go walk into the woods behind the house and I would hang out with a bunch of reptilian kids. Um, I was, like I'm just like we're all cousins. We're all cousins. So
You mean this would be reptilian kids from other dimensions, or it would be like human
no,
kids?
they were real. They were physical. They were in the third dimension.
Uh-huh.
There was adults too, and I would go on the ships, the colonies, all the time. I was always going to the colonies. I was always there ever since I was 3.
Sounds
I was
very
the
similar
first
to the
human
story of
to
Zechariah.
go to the colonies. I helped build them. Before I was born, they were built in '83.
Which species colonies would be that? It wouldn't be the Girk Fitneer, right? It would be something
I
else.
don't really know, but this is what the information I'm getting. Maybe we should ask 𝗪𝗓𝗓 what this means. Like the '83 and then the '89 is when I first went up there.
Could it be Pleiadian?
Well, the Pleiadian, I have 9% Pleiadian, so I believe yes, it had something to do with the Pleiadians.
Could it be Utopia 5 and Andromeda, the one which... So Zechariah grew up, I think,
It
on...
was probably Utopia 5.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure though. These are memories that are just popping up now.
So reptilian kids, were they living on Earth, or were they...
Well, I think they live wherever, but like because we're family, that it's kind of like play date. They know that I'm awake during the night, so they just call me because I'm always been telepathic, and they just let me know that they're there, and I come and hang out with them. I mean, they come there to hang out with me. They don't live there. They live as human beings many times.
So the question was, are these guys positive or negative?
We have apparently attracted them into our perception, to a new perception. Really good. What?
We are the same kind of people as they are. They just look different, and they practice different things because they're a different culture. They're more ancient. They never forgot who they were. We are the ones who forgot who we were. So we perceive it as something scary or something to be feared or negative when it's just nature. We're just learning how to not feel fractured when we meet these beings.
And yes.
They are not negative. That's just a word. We're defining them as negative. They're not trying to harm us. They've said this many
But
times.
isn't it that our oversoul is telling them, maybe the general, to do certain things to us, so we can have an experience?
These plans have been written for millennia. Now they're just still following protocols. They're always following the protocols that are set by the angels, that are set by the 7th dimensional version of our oversoul. Could be also known as the Son of God or Jesus, or their other names. I don't want to. I have to say, I can only really say Jesus because I have studied so far and wide throughout my life that he is the highest name we can call him. I mean, you can call on Yahweh. That doesn't mean you're going to understand the shit that he's telling you. You may think that you do. You gotta. People get confused and get confused that pleasure is the only good thing. So Americans become monster babies. They just want entertainment and to get fat. That's all they want.
Let me add the perspective. So basically, it's the choice of human collective. Human collective is at the vibration 3.5. We are raising. The gods are helping. The extraterrestrials are helping. And now we have choices. Who do we ally with? Until now, the highest, the most extensive alignments were with Zeta Grays and with Galactic Federation of Light. This Girk Fitneer thing came up recently, and it's another opportunity. And apparently, Yahyel made a diplomatic relationship with reptilians on Earth, which call themselves now Sharptooth, and now we are learning about them. It's our choice. How do we take them? They offer their perspective, which is quite military, quite different. But again, it's the choice of the humans. Again, of the Lightworkers. What do we do with them? We can make monsters from them, or we can make allies from them, and we'll have some military protection from them as well. And I think it's up to the taken. You can take it positively or negatively.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Carry on.
No, carry on. Just one small thing, and about the relationship between the leaders and the general. He said that they come to him for counseling.
Yes, yes.
My imagination took me to that, because you can't force someone or make someone do anything. So, and they don't know that who they're talking to, that the general becomes part of their thoughts. So they think that they are thinking themselves and talking to themselves, but they actually talk to the general. Would you agree?
Have you seen the movie John Carter? It's a Disney movie.
No.
Well, it's about Mars, Barsoom they call it, and what was I gonna say? Okay, so exactly what you were saying. There's a higher in that movie. There are more higher evolved beings that are giving one of the races, the leaders, weapons to destroy, to feed, so they can feed off of the negative energy. But they are never known because they just change form all the time. But they have the power to do whatever they want. So anyway, whatever you were saying just made me feel like I was supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, I should see that. Anyone else on my thoughts there?
Yeah, they call Mars Bars.
Bars.
I would like to bring some analogies. Suppose, imagine the Earth to be similar. Now, Earth is surrounded by powerful races, and they are way more advanced than physical humans are. And the humans have to figure out, when the first contact happens, figure out what to ally with and how to ally with them. And different races offer their perspective and offer their everything, the DNA, the infusion, and basically how do it's the choice of collective humanity, how who to invite. Basically, because there is a balance and God oversees that balance, we have the choice, and this choice has to be an informed choice. So the analogy would be saying, Latvia, small country, or another small country, Czechoslovakia, they kind of play it. They have
You mean
Soviet
Czech
Union on one
Republic
side,
and Slovakia?
Czechia and Slovakia. There is a Soviet Union on one side, Germany nearby on the other side, Turks on the bottom, and for Czechoslovakia, and they have to play with all these powerful forces and play it smart to be not swallowed by them, but to retain their freedoms and their individuality. So that's, I guess, for us would be the best analogy. So we can ally with Zeta Grays, which yesterday we were introduced. They have pretty bad agenda to take our resources and then get rid of us. We can ally with Pleiadians, which are wonderful, but they're so shiny that also they can outshine us. We can ally with Reptilians, which are very military, and or we can take a little bit from everywhere and remain in the balance. So it's all about the balance and informed choice. So the question is, I'd say gather information. To make a choice, we have to be informed. And I wouldn't judge anybody before and or ever. This way we can get better information and actually make friends. I would say among any species, including reptilians and draconians, we can find friends. There are some very enlightened reptilians, and there are some very enlightened draconians, and some of them are incarnated among us. And now we have a commercial break. So how do you find us? How about Nick? I will ask questions and you will answer. How to find us on the internet? Yes, go ahead.
General is no. Gabriel is trying to join. Someone's blocked him.
I think our time is running out. I would love to have a session with Gabriel, but first I need to take care of my family and make sure I have more time. Right now I kind of running out of time. I didn't block him intentionally, but
If
just say hi to
we're
him.
closing. All right.
So the commercial break, and then we'll wrap up. So Nick, how to find you?
My email is nick.james333@gmail.com. My Skype name is nick333james, and my phone number is 203-824-6572 if you want to call me or text me. I do private sessions or whatever, talk or whatever you think I can help with.
So private sessions through Skype and through telephone.
My my job I'm gonna be called spirit counselor.
That's fine. And yeah, spirit counselor, and people would ask you questions, and sometimes if you can answer, you would answer without leaving your body, or if you need to bring some higher consciousness in your body, you would channel.
Yeah, they seem to want to come through all the time now, so that's usually how it happens.
So you can also find us on humancolony.org. You can find us on YouTube by searching for Hucolo, which is abbreviation of Human Colony, Hucolo, and you will find our channel. And on the Human Colony, we subscribe to our announcements. And today, for this webinar, I sent email to everybody who subscribed. So people now get email and invitations to the webinars, and you can speak to extraterrestrials yourself.
Yeah, when I went to sleep, there was 2 people in here. When I woke up, there was 6.
I mean, when you went to sleep while channeling, yes.
Yeah.
And we have 6 viewers right now. Now, how can you help us more? We have multiple projects which are sort of in the beginning, so we need leaders for those projects. One problem we found that our site was turned down by some unpleasant force, and it took some time to recover it. So now we want to expand to multiple sites. We don't want all eggs in one basket. We want to have multiple sites. So Facebook is a great place, and on Facebook you search for Hucolo, Hucolo, and you will find us. and I invite leaders to start more pages and more websites. I can help you setting up websites. There is groundteam.org, which needs your input. Nick contributed a lot there, but now we need more help from
I wouldn't call that
WordPress
a lot.
people. You put some spirit there. It was
Yeah, I
not
just-
working. Now it has you there.
Yeah,
So
I
we
just
want to
gotta-
invite ground team and make it a home for the ground team. So I would, my idea of that is that we would like to have a collectively managed site.
Oh yeah, and if anybody wants the private session for $33 for 45 minutes or $66 for an hour and a half, I would appreciate it, especially this week sometime, so I can pay for that camera and mic that Max bought for me.
Yeah, I just ordered it, which should arrive at the end of the week, and then Nick would have better sound, and his face wouldn't go outside of the screen. This camera can follow his face, and his channel position is like that, so the camera has to go down and catch him. So that would be a perfect choice for. So you said $33? It was $30. So we invite donations specifically for that purpose.
So like if somebody did a private session with me, I would just tell them to pay Human Colony site for that session, so it would just go straight to you.
Yeah, for that camera, yes.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you can pay to Nick through PayPal, and PayPal allows you to use your credit card, debit card, or you can send a check. Any other ways of paying would be good.
Yeah,
We also invite.
Nick James. It's just my email.
Yes, PayPal to Nick James. We also invite donations on our site, humancolony.org. You can click donate there. And we invite, if you don't have money, go get a job and help us. And you can also donate your time and energy. There is a lot of work to be done. Especially recently, we have so many sessions, and there is so much information that need to be written down and compacted for others. It just, people just humanly don't have that much time to watch all that we have recorded. Other sessions, other projects include, we have a nice ideas for making movies, and we have professional movie makers who wish to work with us. And we have amazing things happening with channeling, so we want to give channelers a platform and structure that platform for them to reach their audience. People want that want private session, want public session, so we need to structure it better. And people started speaking galactic languages, and those galactic languages, we need to learn them, so we need to make dictionaries. It's academic work, and we would invite help there as well. On our website, when you donate, you can specify to which cause you're donating, and this money will go to that cause. And I also have a project which is waiting. The aliens invited me to write the next book, and I need money to do that. I can't really spend time. If I get your support, I will do that. So if you donate for the purpose of writing a book, I will start writing and publishing on the website. And this book would be basically the summary of what I learned in private and public sessions, and I will put it in a system. So far, the best system I have is in my book 1, and it is a bit outdated, but it is still true. I would say 90% true. But with the new information, I can write a way better book. Anything else we want to say? Yes.
Yeah, I want to learn Latin.
Latin.
I
How about
a Latin book? It helps with the languages. Really, Latin for me stimulates all these things.
And now let's end with a blessing. Nick, would you like to give a blessing, or should I?
You can.
All right. So healing and beauty are the key words. I wish you heal others, become a healer. Say, I am a healer, and it will transform me. Look for the beauty inside and look for the beauty outside. Blessed be your path, and may healing and beauty be with you all the time. Be in joy, be in love, be in light, be healed, be beauty upon you. Amen.
That was wonderful.
All right, I'm stopping the broadcast. Bye.
Alright. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Hello. Bye.